Uh. Mm. Wow, this that really comes like low. Mine looks too high. I hate when shirts like stick really close to my neck. I don't know. I used to actually wear a chain. Is that it? Oh, there it is. I used to wear a chain. I haven't put this on in ages. It's a bit dirty now. Wow. This is what I got for my 16th birthday. So this is 13 years old. Um, but I took it off 2 years ago when I had to go to the hospital for a an MRI. That's it, or a CT scan. It was either an MRI or a CT scan, and yeah, I had to take it off because I take metals off. I just never put it back on. But I've always had trouble with things touching my neck, so I don't want to put it back on now because I'd probably be like, "Oh, should I touch my neck again?" Um, bow bow. Let's go on this. YouTube randomly asks me to become a member of someone else's channel. I clicked on Lofi and it asked me if I wanted to be a member of a channel I watched earlier. I hate things like that. If I'm on the channel, go for it, right? But if it's like something that I'm not even on anymore, like don't randomly bring it up. Don't disturb my YouTube watching. Twitch. My throat feels terrible today. It just always feels like there's something trapped in there. Which channel? Which channel? Oh, kidding myself talking. Oh, kidding myself talking. Quickly, talking. Quickly, talking. Okay, pop out. Oh, right, because they've moved it. What? Wait, what? Oh, the channel's up there now? They've got Google account. Okay. Weird. You seen who this? Hey, Atslam, how's it going, man? Pop out. Cool, we got the chats up. Are we loud enough, or are we too loud, or is the music too loud? Let's post that on streaming as well. Yeah, my throat's so bad today. Like, I would drink more water to help it, but it doesn't really do anything. Don't know what we're going to get done today. We always get things finished, so I'm never too worried. So I think a big question here is, one, where the heck is this image located? I got an image. Helping Flynn. F-Spy. Oh, it's imported. Oh, no. Where does that say that? It's because I want the original image. There's another camera in it. You know what? Oh my god. Oh, does that really... I want to get rid of the grid. But hopefully I could backward search an image of that. I want the original image up on another screen to look at stuff. Good here, like always. And how are you? Loud and clear. Music's perfect. Sweet. Yeah, I'm good, except for my throat, but that's why I say it's always been an issue. It's been an issue for like over a year now, so it is what it is. There's a video in your channel for you of my model that I created by learning from you. Oh, let's have a look. Oh, what the heck? This guy's got another... Oh, wait. Is this a 3D version? Oh, someone made a 3D version of it. Someone's doing what I did. Where they make a 3D... Where they take the guy's art. 2 years ago. That's funny, because I'm essentially doing the exact same thing. But I like to make it look almost identical to the original piece, where he's like got these like different kind of leaves and stuff. This guy, let's get the image on my desktop so I have it. That looks well cool like that. Oh, without shading, with shading is very interesting. In fact, I might want the without shading image. That seems very useful. That's interesting, though, to see that someone's made it 3D. I wonder how many people... Hey, Miracle Man. Oh, yeah, let me look at images. Where did you post it? Was it like in work in progress? A video in your channel for you of my models. In the video section? Oh, here. Yeah. Let's project all. Oh, I need what? I need 360p. I'm pretty sure I said, hey, Mega Cool Man, but just in case it didn't, hey, Mega Cool Man. Only 360p. Lame. Oh, look at the subscriber count. Oh wait, how long is it? Oh wait, let me rub through. Oh, there you go. I want to see you plant them down. It's like gonna be like satisfaction, right? Okay, it's coming. Okay. Okay, I believe you. No, I'm joking. I like that it works on the grid. That's always super nice. I'm very exhausted today. I've gone gym like 4 days in a row. That is not me gloating or trying to beat my chest. I am just trying to say that I'm tired physically. Space Engine is right. I was also up till almost about 7 o'clock last night in the morning, so 7 a.m. And then I slept till like 12 or just before. So I've had under 5 hours sleep despite going to the gym like every day. So I'm a little exhausted. Honestly, if I didn't think I should, I'd probably just be playing games right now. But I know I should be making more 3D content, because that's obviously what the channel is. I need to... These are really cool, actually. I need to make sure... Are these all unique designs as well? Did you originally have some ideas for these, like concepts and stuff? Because obviously that's really important. There's a big... Oh, sorry. There's a big step up in skill from... Oh... I'm a 3D modeler who works from concepts versus I'm a 3D modeler who also draws these illustrations, right? So yeah, it's like the distinction is quite important. Oh wait, I want to see that. Oh, look at that. You walk up it. Oh my god. Oh, I saw you step up it briefly. Are these automatically doing? I don't see selecting other things. Oh no, there are some other ones. It just doesn't show it highlighted. pretty cool. Oh my god. He's gonna make a circle. Hog. Go the stairs, do it. Nice, nice. Oh, hey. I mean, these are really good. Like you said, they're basic to an extent, but if the whole game's themed like this will look really cool. I mean, you got games like Astroneer that are obviously very simple in graphics. I mean, to be fair, you got games like Minecraft, which are incredibly simple in graphics. Some may disagree with that because there is some complexity to those games, but you know what I mean. All right. So I need to finish off one of these leaves. What the idea I'm going to come out with, the idea I'm going to do is I want this to, oh wait, what I should do, come up here, come over here, we'll go on the normals, we'll pull that out here. Now what I'm going to do is make that go like this, and I'm just going to pick up all those leaves, yeah. I'm going to just draw over the top and then alpha out the background, I think would be the best. That was Atlam's 3D stuff. Or, well, technically the engine working as a whole. Do you guys ever have that thing where you talk to a friend and you'd be like, you know, like that time, you'll say something really, really like, I'm going to go over the top here, right, and say really generic, right? So you'd be like, oh, you know, like when you eat something and you, like, digest it and you're told afterwards. It's like, no. So, you know, like when you eat something and you could poop later. No, I've never got that. Like, have you ever had conversations like that where you're saying something that you feel like is a very, very, very common thing that people experience, and then the person you're talking to is just like, no, I don't really know what you mean. It's like, I love those conversations because then you have to like explain it, and then, at least in my case, sometimes like, you're telling me you have never, and I'll re-explain it, done this thing. Hey, Hot Rod, how's it going, man? Or Hot Rude. Hey, man, just passing by to say you're the best. Thanks, man. You are also the best. You're the best viewer. Well, I shouldn't say that of all the other viewers here. They'll get jealous. Maybe they have a poop. Sounds like the Battlefield Friends. The poop bucket. Yeah. Have you guys ever had those conversations? This one you guys are going to say no, never. I'm like, that's a perfect example. Because I feel like everyone's had those kind of conversations where somebody doesn't seem to think that the thing you're describing is a very normal thing. This could be more than a couple ways. I kind of just want to... See, as long as they like go between them, it shouldn't be a big issue. But I mean, I don't even need it this side. I might just do this one like this. There's only leaves coming off here. Then we come up this branch. So for those of you who don't know what I'm gonna do with this, I'm basically gonna... This is only a plane right now, or technically it's more than a plane. That feeling of anxiety you get when they don't know what you're talking about. Well, the other day, I won't talk about this actually. It wasn't that private of a conversation, but I do feel mean sometimes talk about something I spoke about to somebody. It wasn't really private, but you know, I still feel mean, so I won't bring that up. But yeah, it is like that guy just popping by and Steve talking about poop. Exactly. That's why people come to the stream, talk about poop. Where did you guys start eating poop? We don't eat poop. Yeah, me neither. That's a quote from Rick and Morty. Something I find interesting is I have a lot of friends. Well, I have a lot of friends who don't, or at least at one point didn't like Rick and Morty. Some of them like it now. But I have a lot of friends who do not like superhero movies. Do you guys have anyone like that? And I don't mean like they used to like them or anything. I mean they flat out have never liked superhero movies. And that's fine. I'm not saying you're not allowed to like superhero movies. But it's funny because... Is Rick and Morty actually good or just part of the hype train? Oh, there you go. Great example. And I was about to say, and I feel like some people who don't want to watch superhero movies is because they don't want to follow any hype train. Similar with Rick and Morty, actually. I feel like that's the case. Rick and Morty is fantastic. The first season is a little bit of a weird ride because there's a lot of... I started streaming when I posted about it. Rick and Morty is a fantastic show. It's a little bit to wrap your head around, not through it being smart or anything, just because it's a bit of a different kind of animated series, but it's as good as any other animated series. In fact, I would probably put it third place to Simpsons and Final Space. Sorry, not Simpsons, Futurama and Final Space. I'd probably put Rick and Morty over Simpsons. Because Rick and Morty is just a great show. There are some very, very crappy episodes that, well, I think they're really bad. But there are also some very good episodes and some very sort of like head-scratching, sort of very sci-fi episodes. I think it's a very good show. And I think the amount of people who tell me they don't like it have never even watched it. I'm like, well, how do you know you don't like it? Because I know I won't like it. I'm like, I mean, you're not going to give it a shot. You know, you're never going to know. They are not good anymore. Batman and Superman was insane in the 90s, but... Oh, it's all about superhero movies. What? You don't think so? You don't feel like the original Iron Man was really good? Or even Iron Man 3? You don't think the first Doctor Strange was good, which I thought was awesome? Let me actually get a list up. I haven't watched superhero movies in a while because no big ones have come out. The Spider-Man movies, and I don't just mean like the recent ones, but like the original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, the Amazing Spider-Man 1, a lot of people enjoyed, and then the Tom Holland ones, people are pressing hearts in chat, I can see. Then the Tom Holland ones, people really enjoyed. When you got like the cartoony ones, like The Incredibles, I thought was really good. A lot of people like Suicide Squad, not watched it. Oh, Megamind was good, but that's not sort of the generic ones I figured of. Oh, you need Thor. Thor Ragnarok was hilariously good. I loved that movie. I thought it was great. Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy. I guess it's not really superheroes, though. Oh, you only just watched it. Megamind is awesome. That was such a good movie. I watched it probably like a year ago now. Yeah, Thor 3 was really good. Can we get a better list than this? I can barely see any. Oh, the Spider-Man movies, Into the Spider-Verse. I enjoyed the first one, not seen the second one. People love those movies. I don't know. I feel like superhero movies, I think superhero movies are better than these. Have you seen like the freaking Batman Returns and stuff? They are so cringy. I know like back in the day when we watched them, they didn't feel that way. But you watch it now and some of the acting's a bit like, and the nipple suit on Batman and stuff like that. The Superman movies were alright. I still remember watching those not too long ago. But they're still like... There's that thing in some old superhero movies. I don't know if it was Superman specifically. But they'd be like... Oh, look. What's that? Now, this again, I'm going to use Superman as an example, even though I don't particularly remember this happening, but you'll get the idea of what I'm trying to get here. But it'll be like, oh, look, what's that? It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Superman. It's just like so... I don't know, maybe it's supposed to be very comic booky, like very like one-liner thing or whatever. Like, watching stuff like that today, I'm just like, this is what we used to watch. I mean, I still like old TV movies. The thing is, like, my old superhero movies I don't think hold up very much today, but I still think there's a load of old movies and TV shows that hold up completely fine. Like, Nightmare on Elm Street. You say rewatch. I've never watched it. But yeah, I don't know. I've never really thought old superhero movies were actually that great. Like if I watched them today, I'd be like, yeah. I mean, I remember the what killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. He had loads of jokes that. They were just like really. Again, I think they were supposed to be really comic booky, right? Where it was just like one-linery things. Like they were like I don't know. Watching something like that today, I just don't think it holds up really well. And I think movies that release today do hold up. I think some of them are fantastic. I think the last couple of years we've not had some of the better superhero movies just because, I mean, COVID delayed a load of stuff, but because the biggest, have you seen the latest season of The Boys? The Boys is pretty good. I have seen the latest season. The Boys is a very, very peculiar show. I feel like it's its own taste. Right? You guys get what I mean? Yeah. Dark. You can have something dark, right? And it be just sort of upsetting to watch in a way, right? Because it's really dark. But then you got The Boys, where it's like, I guess it's because it's more humorous and also really dark, but it's just, I guess, realistic, right? I feel like when it comes to superheroes and stuff, it's not usually the most realistic. It's usually very happy-go-lucky, and things just kind of work out. And even when things don't work out, it's like, Whereas The Boys is just very real. And I think that's its own sort of thing. I think if you're talking about superheroes and stuff, I think The Boys stands on its own. Not as its own genre, but it's so different. In a good way, because it's one of those things that if you like it, you'll really like it, right? And then if you're not really into that stuff, you may just really not like it. I mean, there's some very questionable scenes where I'm like, wow, really? They put that in there? But again, it doesn't bother me because I like watching stuff like that. I really like dark shows. See, no, I don't even consider it similar to Deadpool, because Deadpool's just a funny, slightly gorier superhero movie. I think The Boys is still a very vastly different sort of thing to Deadpool. I think superhero movies are much more similar to Deadpool if they were just to make him 18 plus, right? I feel like you could achieve what Deadpool is if you just made something more R-rated. That's not to say Deadpool isn't good. I'm just saying that I don't think Deadpool is that unique. You know what? Yeah, a good supervillain movie. The latest one we had, Megamind, you brought up, that was awesome. Megamind was awesome. Honestly, when I was gonna go watch that, I was like, oh, what's Megamind gonna be like? Is this gonna be good? I was like, very questioning how it was going to be. And then when I watched it, I was like, this is great. This is such an awesome little movie. For those of you who've not seen Megamind, I 100% recommend it. That was a fantastic movie. It was so fun. But the last, that is going to be a very controversial point. As in the 2000 animated Megamind. No, wait, 2000? 2010. So, 2010's technically. I was gonna say, is it that old? And I guess it is. It's 13 years old. Yeah, that was a blast to watch, I have to admit. But yeah, the last sort of villain, the last one I could think of, villain superhero movie, was probably Joker, right? And I wouldn't really call that. So again, like I said a second ago, it's gonna be kind of a controversial point. I wasn't the biggest fan of Joker, and I think it's because it was marketed as Joker, right? I think if I went in and I didn't have the expectation of seeing the Joker, the biggest Batman villain of all time, on screen, then I would have enjoyed it more. But yeah, right, as a drama, like I even on its own merit, I'd probably only give it like 7.5 out of 10. I think it was good. Well, from enjoyment value, I didn't actually enjoy it that much. I think what it was trying to do, it was a good movie, but as my own personal enjoyment, maybe like a 5.5, maybe a 5 out of 10. So very mid for me. I wasn't that into it. But I'm also not the kind of person who enjoys something because it's relatable. I was actually saying this to my friend yesterday. He was like, yeah, but wouldn't you like something that felt like you were more relatable to the character? Like they made someone who was like struggling in the industry, because he was like trying to describe how I am with my work, struggling in the industry and all this, and he like it really touched upon like the stuff that you struggle with. I was like, no, not at all. He's like, really? I was like, yeah, I would not care. I said, if they made a movie of a struggling artist, struggling to be a 3D artist, I would not go watch it, because that sounds like the most boring movie. So I watch movies to escape. I watch movies to watch dragons and freaking knights fighting them. I watch movies to see some hobbits take a ring all the way across the Middle Earth to get to Isengard and to Mordor and to throw the ring in the lava. I don't want to relate to the characters. I want to witness these really cool characters that I'm not like, because they're cool. It's like those forklift drivers that come over to play Forklift Simulator. Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys feel that way at all. I've never really been that interested. Like, don't get me wrong. I feel like building up, if you want to be sympathetic with a character, I feel like building up an emotional, like, connection with them, and maybe you can relate to them, helps with that. And I get that. But those aren't even the type of things I want to watch. To be fair, I like sitcoms. And in sitcoms, making the characters relatable, very understandable. But yeah, when it comes to anything else in movies and TV shows, I just don't really care about relating to the characters. I just don't. I'm not going to watch a drama based on an artist, a 3D artist trying to get an art job. I'm not going to watch some nerd who got mildly bullied through school, and, you know, went to college and university to become a 3D artist. I'm just not going to enjoy that. And I know they say... So, obviously, when they say relate to the character, they don't mean to relate to them usually that exactly when they're literally doing the exact same thing you are. But even if they were relating in a way where it's portraying like the Joker, right? So, a big part of the Joker was it was an over-exaggeration, or not even an over-exaggeration. It was like a condensed, make them human. Yeah, it helps make them human, but I just don't care about that. In like the Joker, it was a big part of it about was making him human and showing how society can treat people, especially lower people in the society, or what people are considered lower anyway. Why would I relate to Shawshank Redemption? A bunch of prisoners. Hold on a minute. I like Shawshank Redemption, not because I can relate to it. I love Shawshank Redemption. I've seen it. I don't really rewatch many movies. I've seen Shawshank Redemption probably anywhere between 5 to 8 times. I love that movie. And I only watched it not long after university because they're human. Well, oh, I mean, I guess I can relate to them because they're human. I guess. I mean, that's a good example, though, right? So, a lot of people can't directly relate to Andy Dufresne because they're not someone who's gone to like prison or anything, right? But you can relate to him in the fact that he was a man who felt sort of like the system was against him, and he tried his best to push through the circumstances of movies that he was in. He was taken advantage of and stuff like this, and we can all sympathize and relate to that, right, in a way. And I guess that's fine, but again, I also personally don't really care about that either. I'm just not that into caring about or being able to relate to a character. Caring about a character, sure, and sometimes that comes down to relating with them more, but yeah, also, I just realized that it's offset to hell. Look at that. What the heck? Yeah, I just could not care less. Oh, it is, like, kind of coming over. That's interesting. I mean, even though it is, we'll pull it forward because it looks wrong in the 3D. It looks wrong when we're actually over here. I don't mind it slightly over like that, but yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was funny because my mate... I know he wasn't doing like a Gotham kind of thing when he said, but wouldn't you find it more interesting if the character was like, if they made a character and he was like you and he was struggling and all this? I was just like, no. And he was like, oh, all right then. Because it just wouldn't. It simply just would not interest me making a character more like relatable. And I think that's a big reason to why I just did not care about the Joker. There was nothing in the Joker where I was like, wow, this is a really big thing I wasn't aware of. How comes you're using Blender? I always use Blender. Heidel. Have you seen me use? Oh, are you asking because you want to know the benefits? Because if you're someone who's watched me years ago, you'd have seen me use Maya. So I'm not sure if you're asking for that reason or if you're asking because you just want to know the benefits. Oh, so you have been here for a while. I used to use Maya. Maya costs money, and Blender's better. People don't always like hearing that, but Blender for me is significantly better. I will add the for me because there are some benefits to Maya. But in general, Maya just has a significant lack of tools over Blender. Just the modifier shelf on its own is thingy. 3ds Max honestly sounds completely fine as well, because 3ds Max has modifier shells and stuff like that. It has all the extra tools. I think Maya's biggest benefit is it's a very good artist first software kind of software. Because a lot of the stuff is like under menus, right? And if you know your way around Blender, you're fine. Like, even if you don't, if you kind of know names of things, you can find it in the F3 menu. You can type it in. So if I want to be like bevel, I could find that in here, and then it'll show me the shortcuts. I just realized what you guys are saying. You're using 2016 and 2017 versions of 3ds Max. But yeah, but Blender, not only is Blender free, I just think it's significantly better than Maya. I think it just offers way more, at least as a 3D modeler. I know a lot of people big Maya up for its ability to texture. What am I saying? The ability to animate and rig is better, because you can do that in Blender, but they just claim it's better in Maya. And that might just be the case. I don't know. I'm not a rigger or animator, so I can't tell you. But yeah. Oh, I made ramen the other day, for those of you who didn't see it. Did I post it in chat? I made ramen quite a few times. Check this out. Oh, how do you guys like your steak? Can I open the image? It's flipped, so let me just... Because I like my steak sort of like this. Because it's actually in the broth, you can grab it, dip it down, keep it in the broth for a couple of seconds, and it will cook the outside a little bit more as well. But yeah, I've made ramen quite a few times, but yeah, this is super good. There's ramen rem on the bottom. I just realized on the thingy. Yeah, that was really nice. Check that out. Green onion, egg. This was like a mixed bag. I can never find watercress on its own, so I tend to just find a mixed bag. So this is rocket, spinach, and watercress, which is there. We've got a bunch of green beans, noodles, bamboo shoots, and then I had carrot. And white parts of green onion actually in the broth. And then the broth was made up with stock cubes, boiling some fat of the steak, and then then soy sauce, a little bit of golden sugar, and some other bits. So blend equals Notepad++, where Maya is like Dreamweaver to a web designer type of difference. I don't know enough about that. Maya's like Dreamweaver to a web designer. Is Dreamweaver sounds vaguely familiar, but I'm not sure. So maybe someone else will be. No, Blender is Visual Studios, Maya is VS Code. Yeah, I know what Visual Studios is. What's VS Code? VS Code. Oh, Visual Studio Code. Okay, let me think of an example. Maya feels like... You know what? This is an interesting actual comparison. Maya feels like Photoshop if you wanted to draw. Blender feels like Clip Studio Max. Clip Studio Max? Wait. Just Clip Studio, sorry. So for those of you who've used Clip Studio feels like a significantly better drawing tool just because it has a lot more there for you to draw. There's a lot of people who use Photoshop too. So you can achieve both the same work, but there's a lot of stuff in Clip Studio that helps with that. Like, Clip Studio for way longer than Photoshop had a lazy mouse, for example, which is where it trails behind it. So if you have wobbly hands, it helps with that. I know, I hate Dreamweaver. Dreamweaver sounds really familiar. CS Dreamweaver? Does that sound familiar to me? CSS? Is it Adobe Dreamweaver? Yeah. Dreamweaver. It sounds super familiar. The thing is, a lot of people dislike Blender because Blender's a shortcut-based software, right? So when you want to do something, you tend to need to know the shortcut. So when I want to... Oh, selecting this. When I want to set an edge loop, I know I've got to press Control R, then I've got to scroll. But I know that, right? If I was in Maya, I would go either on my toolbar, where I click a button and I place it, or I would go to, like, what's it called? Edit Mesh, Insert Edge Loop, and then do it. But equally, you still need to know what Insert Edge Loop means, right? So it's an interesting comparison. So those of you who didn't see earlier, someone's actually made this scene already in 3D. But you know what I want to look at? What other stuff does he do? Ah, what? I thought he was going to have loads of stuff. Looks good. Honestly, that looks really good. I always struggle to get this, like, quite like this stylized. This looks awesome. I don't really like the twig, though. He's got this weird psychedelic look on it. Oh, whoa. Yeah, that's the store. Then he's got this. Which, this is mostly just like a Blender render type thing. It still looks good. Oh, actually, the skull looks really good. But yeah, I was hoping he was going to have a huge portfolio showing the other stuff he's done. Is this someone in chat? No. I when I backward searched the image to get, because I wanted the guy's portfolio that made like this drawing. Oh, actually, no, this drawing. I backward searched it and I found this guy's ArtStation who did a 3D model of it. Was a big shame about it actually. He's not showing much off here. He's not got any. I think it's I can't talk about this, but what I tend to say to people who view my portfolio to why I approach it in certain ways is a big reason why I want things like actually no, here, sorry, this and this. A big reason why I do stuff like this. It is just a slight pan, right? But when it comes to turning something that was 2D into 3D, I think it's really important to do something with movement. Or even like changing the night and day dynamically like I just did, like it faded between the two. I think that's super important when you're doing a 3D version of someone's illustration, because you're really showing off that it's 3D and you're showing off a benefit of it being 3D, that you can move around or change lighting conditions, right? I think that's super important because it's basically if all that dark grading give me a bucket. What? Yeah, I think it's super important to show that off because you're just helping to demonstrate the whole reason you made it 3D, right? Because you want to use it for 3D purposes. He wants to be sick. Oh, what you mean like here? The like terrible banding. I know. I didn't even know that. It doesn't look as bad here or here, but even the images get compressed on ArtStation. I was like, man, people aren't really looking at that. I had to convince myself of this anyway. People aren't really looking at the background. They're looking at the art piece, but it still annoys me. Oh, yeah, true. Because it's being streamed, it looks even worse for you guys, yeah. But, I mean, it looks bad for me, too. It looks really bad here. But yeah, it's being secondarily compressed. Secondarily. Anyways, another example is, like, putting a load of moving stuff in the scene, right? Like the bubbles move, the people move, you get this. Because I'm trying to show off the importance of it being 3D over 2D. And I think when you do when you take someone's illustration and you make it 3D, he does have a night version, so that shows off the lighting conditions can be changed. But I do think it's super important to demonstrate that you are capable of... You're showing off why it's important that you've made it 3D. And you're showing off the benefits of it being 3D. And I think that's just really nice. And I will always do that. Whenever I convert a scene, whenever I take someone else's illustration or concept, and I turn it into a scene, I'll always try my best to make it show off the 3D. Full 360? I don't know. I'm not sure yet. Because I could, but then I need to make something back here that looks interesting. I want to do another day and night. I basically just want this one to be similar to the last one I just did, right? I just want a nice, another diorama piece. Because this is actually the third diorama I'm going to have done. I'd like to finish it before I go away, but I probably won't because I've been very lazy lately with 3D. I'm having to do a lot of stuff recently, like I'm going to gym every day. And I'm having to deal with... Because I'm going to Japan, I'm having to deal with, like, finding good conversion rates. I've never had a suitcase, so I'm having to get a suitcase. I've had to call up the tax office about certain things, which was funny because they hung up on me. I've had to deal with some tax things. Yeah, I've had to do a lot of like small things recently that are just like, or they're not small things, they're still big things. Yeah. That was the SpongeBob and Patrick's shit now, could they? I mean, I don't necessarily think you need to do a whole... I don't think I necessarily need to do like a whole 360. Because it's just, like I said, it's just a demonstrator that's 3D. But it would still be kind of cool. So this is basically done. Now, what I would like to do with this environment is... Wow, I've got this wall like slightly offset. So this scene I actually made in like one sitting with my friend. He was asking me how to model, like he was asking for advice on how to model from a perspective shot. So I basically just whipped up the perspective shot and I was like, okay, so, and I just showed him how to do it. Oh no, see, we've got some stuff here. We've got this part here. We still got a little bit. And yeah, in one sitting, of what, between an hour to 2 hours, I basically made all of this. I don't think I've worked on it on stream at all, have I? I don't think so. So yeah, it was a very fun, quick scene. Smoke coming off the stack. The stack? You mean like here? So I was thinking of stuff like that. I was thinking of having, well, I definitely want some lights here. Well... So, I kind of want lights in the interior, but I might make that change to nighttime so I can have it change... Oh, yeah, having the fan, that's a good idea. Like steam coming out. That's a good idea. Oh, you know what? I could always do like a little plant thing here. Depending on how I want to do that, I could do it as two crossing planes and then just draw on it some bits. Or I could just do it as one plane, or I could do it as a decal. Lots of different things. Man, my throat is terrible right now. Oh my god. Okay, so we need this little bit over here. But as always, I always try to grab existing models and repurpose them. The reason I do that is because it's to save a little bit of time getting things right. Whoa, where the heck did I go? So many possibilities. Yeah, pretty much. If we do this and then do this, we have this like a nice sharp top. Then we're going to duplicate this, do this, pull this up. And how did I manage to curve on here? I just did... Oh, really? Okay. It's not a terrible way to do it. I literally just did this, this, this. Oh, it is filled. I just need to move it over. This. Oh, wait. this. It just like does this kind of curve, which looks okay. It depends what kind of curve you're looking for, because sometimes you want it to be like a proper curve, sometimes you want it to be a more square curve. Yeah, it comes down to what you prefer making. I mean, in Blender, if you guys didn't know, if you want to make something be like a wiggly curve, if you press, let's scale it down actually. If you press Control and right click, you can like pull things around. So if you want to like a corner like that, it doesn't need to be like an exact corner, and then you smooth it. You get like, you can curve it around. Oh no. But I'll read it in a second. I wish you could hold it. I feel like there is a way. Definitely need a fan. I read that. Smoke coming out. I read that. And the fan. I read that. Maybe the door could be swinging slightly. Okay. Open and close. Could do real-time lighting and have the light pouring out to the street. I could do that. But then I need to do a street. Well, I don't necessarily need to do a street. Because dioramas... I have a soft spot for dioramas that are just kind of there. Control right click. Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't know if I said that. Control right click. And it will like pull it around. You can kind of mess it up too much if you do something like that, and you're not like moving it as slow as you should. Yeah, there's tons of different ways to curve it. You can actually use a curve modifier, which I always forget how to do. I think it's because you've got to do it around an empty. When you do a curve, you can always do the thing where you do this. This one never looks as good from what I remember. But let me just have a look. Because you kind of want it to... Yeah, I already feel like this isn't right. No, that's right. Yeah, you do it like that. But as soon as you go to, for example, smooth that, it looks like terrible, right? So you can like put in your thingies here, but then that always, like if you were to do that, it looks bad. I wonder if you do this though. Oh yeah, that looks terrible. So I very rarely do it that way because I tend to think it never works out. I mean, I guess you could pull these in to a point and do it. Then you get like a square edge, which sometimes you want. It really depends what you're going for. If you just want a normal curve, it's usually best. Maya had a really good bend deformer that Blender does have, and I just always forget how to use it. Yeah, there's tons of different ways to it. They actually have a shear. How did you shear again? Shear? This is a different thing entirely, but I just want to see it working. Okay, so that's not the one I'm thinking of. Is it because I got to select one side? No. So, you know, like when... If you want to, like, cut something off like this, right? There's a tool that basically... Like, on this shape, you could just pull this down and you're probably fine. Yeah, splines and circles, they're really good as well, which is obviously... Well, I still prefer using a cube for that, which is like you just do this. Actually, no. You know what? Blender, you can turn your... what am I doing? You can turn your spline into a mesh. So you just come into here. Geometry. Extrude. Offset? No. Round. Depth. Oh, wait. I don't need the offset. Extrude then. There you go. You've automatically got this, and then you can literally select both of these, turn it into a automatic spline, and boom, you can start pulling things around. Which works super well with like wires, right? Like if you want a wire on the ground. But you can also control right click with these as well. But you don't have to use the automatic one. It really depends what you're going for. Like you can... Vector? No. Well, vector's interesting. Aligned. So aligned. Well, technically it lets you do aligned when you go to move it, because aligned basically doesn't let you change the rotation. So if you want like a straight point like this, and then you want this to be straight, and then you just align it, you get like a sort of not sharper transition, but you know what I mean. Like a transition that makes more sense if you want it to be a bit neater. Yeah. Splines. Oh, then you can just convert it to mesh, and now it's a mesh. Okay. But I think I want to do these ones like this anyway. I want like the square edge, I think. I could always change it later if I don't like it. I mean, as always, and I always repeat this so many times, and I actually saw someone in chat earlier, and he knows who he is, who actually said it recently, which was, don't worry about perfection a lot of the time, because if you worry too much about perfection, you will rarely finish something. Is that really up? Well, that's wild. What the heck? And it's true, and I will always stand by that. Don't worry about being a perfectionist, because if you worry too much about being a perfectionist, scenes won't get finished. And what is worse than a scene that isn't perfect is an unfinished scene. If you never finish something, none of it matters. So just remember that it's more important to finish a scene than it is to make it perfect. Sounds like a wise man. Yeah, it does, yeah. But no, it's super true, and I will always stand by that. That it is way more beneficial to be, because I know some people can't help it. I get that. Some people who are perfectionists tend to say that, you know, they can't help it, it's just how they are, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, it is going to be a hindrance if you try too much to be a perfectionist, because it's just one of those things. I need to hear that before programming. Well, just pretend I said the whole thing, but I was referring to programmers. Yeah, I was just, I don't know, that's fine. No, it's one of those things that a lot of people can't wrap their head around. And some people will question me, right? And some people are like, oh, why did you not make that part look perfect? I'm like, because I don't care. Because I worry more about getting it finished than I do making it perfect. And I was like, and when you are an artist, you will understand what I mean when I say that. Or even a programmer. Because you will get basically no respect for an unfinished scene, and you're trying to be perfect and you end up not finishing it, versus finishing a scene you will get respect for. Even if you'll get some people say, well, this part I don't like and this part I don't like, and you could have worked harder on this part, it's like, at least you're getting that feedback. If you're having fun doing it, it's better than... The heart still gets in the way of seeing stuff than finish something that's boring. Yeah, that's true. Having fun with it always helps. I'm going to slightly make my window ajar. It's been very cool recently, but my PC's not even warm. It must have warmed up a little outside. Oh, they do these pastries at a shop near me. I don't know the nationality of the shop. We thought it was like a Polish shop because they do have Polish foods in there, but they did say what it was, and I've forgotten because it was so long ago. But they do these pastries, and they're filled with like cheesecake, like cheese, like the well, it just says cheese. It literally just says cheese filled pastries. And I think when I first bought it, my mum was like, "Oh, that's just gonna be like cheese." Like, no, I think it's sweet cheese. And then when I ate it, it was so good. And I just ate one recently. I've been pretty good on my diet, but my brother was like, "Oh, do you want to pop to that shop we used to go to?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And they had some, and I was like, "Oh, I'm buying one of these." And it's just so delicious. They have different flavors too. They have like a cherry one, which is like cherry jam with the cheese and the pastry. They have like a nutty one, and they're all freshly baked. Like there, I'm pretty sure, and some other flavors. But they also have a coconut one. I was like, "Oh, coconut and cream cheese sounds, or and sweet cream cheese, like cheesecake cheese." And pastry sounds really good. So I'm going to eat that one tomorrow. But I need to make sure that I don't exceed my calorie intake because I am on a diet. I don't know if you guys can tell. I mean, I still look pretty much the same. I don't really think it looks like I've lost that much weight. But, you know, maybe you guys think differently. Let's, here you go. I still think I look chub. But, oh, I've really hurt my shoulder. I've always had like problems with my shoulder. About here, where is it? It's like one of the I always said tendons, but I don't know if that's correct terminology. But like, it's definitely something like here. It's not the muscle, but it's like, oh, it's usually just sort of perpetually sore when I put pressure on it. But yeah, because I've been lifting, like doing some like shoulder presses and stuff. I'm just like, oh. way skinnier in the face. You know what? I keep my friends live up north, and they keep inviting me. And I just really don't want to travel. I think I know they are sympathetic, but I really just don't. It's just so far, man. It's 4.5 hours one way. One way. Which means if I'm hanging out for one evening, let's say they wanted to meet up at 1 and finish the evening. I mean, I can't even finish that late. The last train that comes back home is it gets here about 11, right? Which means I have to leave. Which, I mean, there are always delayed trains in England. So it's wiser to not take the last train. So I'd probably want to, at the very latest, get the 10 o'clock train back instead of the 11, which means I would have to leave at 5:30. And I'd have to travel up there. It's about a 20-minute walk just to the train station. So it's not 4.5 hours, it's a 5 hour, because it takes about 20 to 30 minutes, and then I got to wait 5 to 10 minutes. God awful trains, man. Yeah, Megapixel, they are so bad. But yeah, it's like I know I've done like no work on this today, and I've just been talking. You have a noise filter for the mic. I have the red hyper, and it picks up every single noise. A little bit, yeah. If you're on OBS, you can go to filters, and I've got a noise suppression and a noise gate. But I also have a plugin that does my. Oh, well, it's not. I don't think it does very much, but it's just like a. It helps stabilize some of the inputs, but mostly the noise suppressor. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so it's about a 5 hour travel, and it'll probably be about the same way coming back, right? So I'm gonna have to get to the train station and get back, right? So it means if they want to meet up at 1, I would have to leave at 8. Maybe even longer, because if they're meeting up at a location, I need to get there and still get to them. So let's say I need to leave at 7:30. I will then finish getting there and get to hang out with them at 1, and then I'll have to head back at 5:30. So, or even 5, because it might take me, depending on where they finish the day, I might have to travel back to it. So let's say 5. So I will end up traveling for like 10 hours to hang out for 4 hours. And pay, obviously, like 80 quid, because UK trains aren't the best price. And then, yeah. If not more, that's a cheap price, 80 quid, if you can get a cheap one. Oh, yeah, I mean, if it was like an hour train away, I'd be like, heck yeah, let's go. But, I mean, I'm very adamant on just saying no, I think, because it's just too far. It's, hey, Luden, 10 hours of travel to hang out for 4 hours is just... And I don't enjoy that time, because UK trains suck. They are very uncomfortable. Well, it depends which ones you get. The one from Great Yarmouth to Norwich is actually really comfortable. The one from Norwich to Peterborough is terrible, I'm pretty sure. The one from Peterborough... well, yeah, I know you can get different trains, to be fair, but they tend to be similar to one if you're getting the ones on the same tracks. The one from Peterborough to Leeds is... I feel like I'm missing a train here. I think you may have to get off at 1 just before Leeds, but that one's pretty naff as well. And then one straight into Leeds is pretty good again. So yeah, I mean, I remember being in one. It was the hottest day of the year, right? Was it the year? It was the September one. It was really warm, and they just wouldn't open windows. It was so hot. And once you did open a window, because they had to be opened by the staff, the train staff, she opened one. For those of you who know how airflow works, opening one window in such a long vehicle like that doesn't help very much. The air doesn't really come in. It sort of just goes whoosh, and so you get a little bit come in. You need to open a second window. That way the airflow can come in. She opened that window. It didn't even feel like the window was open. I was like, man, I'm just wetting. Admittedly, it's colder now, so I won't be sweating now at least. How far north or how far south are you? I am Great Yarmouth going to Leeds. It's when one of my friends are watching the stream. They're like, no, he keeps talking about visiting. And he's saying he doesn't want to. Was a single couch for an hour packaged packed to the brim, sorry. Yeah, I had a train like that. That was just overpacked. I was lucky to find a seat. I had to sit next to this old man. Like, I was sweating. I'd put on deodorant and stuff, right? But I felt so sorry for this old man next to me because I was like, I probably smell like I can't even think of I probably smell like a beached whale right now, and this guy's just sitting there on his phone. I was like, man, this poor man, he has to deal with me just like melting next to him. Nothing is a very different story. Well, I can imagine being you're in Scotland. How north is Leeds compared to England? Not the UK, but England. It's got Middlesbrough, you got Newcastle upon Tyne. So what here? So it's pretty north. You just got a big gap of not many cities between there, though. I've got any private information here now. Like, you've got, like, Leeds, and then I assume this is the line for where it becomes Scotland. I assume. Does it say England and Scotland? Oh, I say England, Scotland. Doesn't really show it clearly, but I assume it's this dotted line. So yeah, you got Leeds, you got like this gap here, but there's not like anything big around here by the looks of it. I don't know a lot about sort of more northern England, so I couldn't say. I know in Middlesbrough and stuff, but yeah, when you come obviously more south, you start getting the get London, or Ipswich. Where am I? Got Norwich, you got Great Yarmouth, where I am. Yeah. I mean, maybe if we went Nottingham, but that means they have to travel, so... Really depends. I mean, we could always discuss and try to meet up somewhere else, but... You're all south. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. If you're up here, we are all south. I don't know how up here you are, but if you're up here... Why are these parts grey? Is that like mountainous, snowy places? Is that what that means? East Coast, right? Anything else? No, cool. I was gonna say, where's my camera? That's way smaller. I had a feeling it was. I don't really know what shape they're supposed to be. It's obviously pixels at this point. I think it might be shaped a little bit differently to this, but this is good enough. If any of you could be a character from... Oh, you know what? If any of you... I think this is always a fun question. If any of you could be in any universe from any video game, which would it be? And you are a normal person. I want to clarify. You're not going to be like, the Dragon Ball Z games and I'm Goku. No. You are a normal person in a universe from a video game. So you pick Skyrim, you're thinking a magicless merchant, or even just a magicless random guy with dragons around, magic that can kill you and stuff like that. Yeah, you're a normal guy. I want to type it in, see if there's any good examples. If you could live in a random video game world, which would be Horizon Zero Dawn, Atlum? Is that the... Oh, is there a game just called like do you mean Horizon the racing game? Because racing game, or is there a game just called Horizon? Because I feel like I've not played Zero Dawn, but isn't it like kind of tribal cave? Well, not caveman-y, but tribal. So trying to survive against like machinery trying to kill you. That sounds interesting. And again, you're a normal person. Let's see what people you get. There's a Reddit post. I really should be doing more 3D, but I'm just having fun talking and stuff. The Sims. Good one. Oh, this is 10 years ago. No. We've got more recent one. The world of a video game. Here we go. Vice City. Final Fantasy 7? Really? Doesn't that end with, like, everyone dying? Well, that's a bit of a spoiler. That's just, I don't know. I've not actually played it. Although I guess the new one, I think... Oh, this is 13 years old. Oh, my God. This question is apparently not asked very often. Is there more Reddit posts of it? You guys ever write Reddit after your search just so you can find more genuine, like, people just asking the question online? There you go, 2 years ago. Tetris, well, I mean. Animal Crossing. Yeah. The Sims. Sonic the Hedgehog. What? Minecraft. Yeah, I guess. I guess a normal person in Minecraft is kind of like Steve, unless you're going to say you're a villager. I need to say that. Pokemon. Okay, because any normal person can become a Pokemon trainer. Like, that's pretty normal. World where the old world is there, but we failed, and the tribes in Horizon is a descent of us. But would you want to be a normal citizen there? Like, you're not the one going out discovering things. I guess you could train to be someone who is, but... Stardew Valley. Good answer. Someone said a porn game. Apex Legends. Okay. Mass Effect? Okay. Yeah, any space travel game would be good. Star Citizen. That'd be a decent one. No Man's Sky. That'd be cool. Breath of the Wild. Yeah, I mean, Breath of the Wild, sure. The places are kind of being taken over, aren't they? Isn't that kind of the point of the game, is that you're there to stop Ganon? But, I mean, as long as Zelda's doing his... As long as Link is doing his thing, and saving the day, you know... Can you explore the old world, though? There's a lot of robots around trying to kill you, right? Again, Skyrim. A lot of people saying Skyrim. Assassin's Creed? To be fair, they didn't say... In this question, he didn't say you're a normal person. Cyberpunk. That's a pretty good one. I like that answer. Super Mario. Leisure Suit Larry. Oh, no. You can pet them and control them. Oh. Terraria. Genshin Impact. Cool, yeah. Oh, wait. I kept Megapixel's stuff not showing up. Oh, hello. Sorry for worrying you. I want to offer... I knew it was going to be one of those things. No. How do I delete these? Don't remember. You can see what I'm doing. Wait, where did I click him? Oh, I did. The follow gift. What happens if I just ban? Timeout, delete it. Okay. I'm looking there on my freaking recording software. Let's get a better picture up on that on another monitor so I can really see what it is. Okay, so it just looks like an arm. How's the work been going, Megapixel? I ask you every time, you know. I always like to have updates. Seeing where the boys at. Go, 16. Wait. But I can't align because this needs to stick away from the wall. Right here. Means this surely would need to come out more. But you can see that. I don't know. We'll just do something like that. Not too fast with the accuracy. As long as it looks relatively right, I don't think anyone's going to care. I remember saying, oh, you know, that looks way more different. I remember saying when I was working at my job. So this is a completely random thought that's crossed my mind. But one thing I find really interesting with 3D versus like a concept artist is there's a very large difference between making something ready for game purposes versus just making it pretty, right? So if for example, I get given concept art, which I had done in the past, depending on the purpose, completely depended on, you know, it's more like this, completely depended on how I was going to make it, right? And I remember they made like I think I've showed it before on stream, and they made like a castle type thing. Like, cool, that looks really, really nice. But I had to change it. And then when they looked at it, they were like, that's not, it was like, it would have looked way more cartoony if you did this. And they showed me, they explained to me what they meant. And I went, yeah, but I couldn't do that. I was like, what do you mean? It's like, so, and I'll show you what I mean. And I think this is just a really cool difference between the two roles, right? Because something like that. It's fine. I could always do a rod going through the whole thing. That's probably what's going on here anyway. It probably like goes all across the end. There's probably like another rod down here. Yeah, so they basically had like a castle. Let's go make it. Die or die. It's been hell of a unproductive week. For you or for the company? What can you not really say? Anyway, so... So they basically... Oh yeah, I think I usually just mirror it because it makes it easier. So we do this. Wait, where's the other mirror going? Oh, I'm an idiot. It's going backwards, but like there you go. Alright, yeah, and then we can like make the wall. Build a wall. Bing. Cool. And we'll add oh yeah, these were really thick. That's actually really important. These were super thick because you could walk on top of them, which actually kind of makes me want to make it even thicker than that and just make the pillars or the spires, whatever you call them, even thicker than they are. And like this. Then bring them up maybe a bit more. Anyways, they did something like this. These were like walls. This came down like this, and that was like a walk path, right? So similarly on here. And over here, this was like something like this, came down like this. And then you had like little bits you could peek out, but we're not going to do that extra detail, right? So, in the original concept, things were a lot more like... wait, hold on a minute. I don't know where I need the actual polys right now, so I'll just add them everywhere. Things were a lot more like... Now, this might be a little bit of an over-exaggeration. Yeah, okay. That's a little bit too much of an over-exaggeration. I'm going to be a little bit more chill than that. There you go. Now, I've shown this example quite a few times because it's actually something that we were making it work. It's not exactly the same thing, but it's a similar concept, basically. And then this would have been bent out. Like this. Oh, I just want the top edge. And then this would have done the same this way. Right? And we had the building, or castle, whatever, more like this. However, so that was like the drawing, should I say. However, when I made it, I had everything a lot more in. Now, I still had a little bit of a bend on things. But it was a lot more subtle. I'll read that in just a minute, Mr. Pixel. So mine looks more like this. And then when it was in like the background or whatever and it sat up somewhere, you could tell it wasn't as it wasn't a reflection. It wasn't reflective too much of the original concept because things weren't bent as much. And it was like, oh, but why is that? Why didn't you bend everything out? I was like, you should have made it bend out more. I said, I can't. What do you mean? If I made it bent out more like not they wanted, this is just a concept art. So this isn't a conversation I had with like someone in charge. This was just like us just communicating with each other. We were very respectful of each other's opinion. And I said, if I bent him out that way, the floor would always be like a 30 to 45 degree angle. Your character wouldn't be able to walk on it. And they were like, oh, I didn't even think about that. And that is the biggest difference, right, between someone who's taking 2D illustrations or 2D concepts and making it 3D versus someone simply drawing it. Now, the person drawing it is much more creative, in my opinion, anyway. I think they have a lot of talent and a lot of skill. But they don't have to... Well, to be fair, a very, very, very good illustrator and concept artist may draw it in a way that they think about the game. But they don't necessarily need to, because that's your job. You're taking it and you're trying to make it fit for game purposes. And sometimes you have to change something quite drastically to make it fit that purpose, because the concept art just can't quite do it. And you guys have seen it in my Omega Fish Station one I showed earlier, and the one I just made the other day, or finished the other day, where the one I finished the other day, if you match it up to the original concept, it's not quite right. And it's because the actual original concept sort of flared out, right? But I couldn't really do that unless I sort of made it really fisheye lens, I guess. So I had to compromise and try to make it into a 3D environment, make it work properly in a 3D environment, but also try to reflect the original concept as much as possible. So sometimes, yeah, there's just compromises you have to go through when deciding how it would work for 3D. Anyways, let's read what Megapixel said. It's a long story, but we plan to work in Unreal, and devs decided to make changes to the whole repo and how we all push work with basically no notice, so it's been a whole thing. Oh no. That definitely sounds like something. You know what? We could do something very interesting with this. Right. So it's already insane poly count, but what we could do... Oh, is it one mesh? Is go into sculpt, go into cloth, and like... Oh, is it not strong enough? Wait, how do I make... Whoa, well, that's kind of what I'm looking for, but not. Is there a way to select the parts I don't want to be changing? Like, I don't want the edge here. Yeah, you could make wrinkles in it. So if I do it that way, like if I pull it left and right, up and down in a circle. I'm not really familiar too much with these tools, but yeah. Oh, wow, it's doing it a lot more than I think. But yeah, you could make it more cloth looking. Can I undo it? Enough? Perfect, just enough. We don't need to do that. I could manually make some parts look a little bit nicer. I feel like you could get away with manually actually getting some areas in and then properly connecting it up and dipping them down. That probably could work, actually, and save some poly count. Oh my god. Not like that. I didn't mean to click enter. But we're not going to do that right now, because I don't need to do that right now. What tool is that? Oh, that is, you go to, so, let's quickly make a paper bag. What does a paper bag look like? I mean, it's like... To be fair, you probably don't actually want to do that with the paper bag because there's plenty of tools to make your... to make a wind effect on it and stuff with cloth and cloth simulations. But you can go ahead and do it this way as well. But yeah, there's a lot of simulations you can do to... Looks more like a shirt. Oh my god, it actually does look like a shirt. I mean, this isn't going to stop what I'm still going to show in a second. I just think it looks funny because it looks like a shirt rather than a paper bag. Anyways, if we then do this like 4 times, click apply. Cool. And then you go into like a sculpt. Oh, it's inverted. Lovely. Yeah. Yeah. Wee. Ruffled paper bag. Whoa. Very cool. I mean, you can do a bit better work than that to it, but yeah, it still looks more like a wrinkled shirt. Let's be real. But you can, like I said, you could do more simulations, which is probably the better way to go, because you could do a simulation where it puffs out through the middle, and that'll probably get you the wrinkles you're looking for. I can't remember off the top of my head how to do it. You probably want to go cloth. It's gonna fall, isn't it? Yeah, so it automatically has gravity on it. Yes, it automatically has gravity on it, but there, if you look up a quick tutorial, it will show you how to do it. I can't remember off the top of my head because I rarely have to do it. That's just sculpting tool. Yeah. You go, well, no, you go sculpting, sculpt mode, and you go down on the left. You just go down to where it says cloth. So you might have to scroll down, but yes, here. Boundary. What does that one do? Whoa. Wait, when I went into sculpt, did it smooth it? Oh, I didn't notice that. That's cool. I'm actually gonna finish streaming things. My throat feels so bad. We'll do this part here. Yeah. Actually, no. I probably could just do it smooth on that. We'll quickly do this part here, and then we'll probably call it a day. I'm sorry. I wanted to do a little bit more today, but yeah, my throat feels so terrible. I can't blame the gym for my throat either, unless the water's doing something to me. This is like the gym water. Which is very, very tasty. It's like drinking just normal, I kind of just want to do this, and then bring this up, and then do like a bevel scale first, and then do like a bevel, there you go. Like that. It's literally just like a black mark. You can't see what it actually is, but I think just something like that looks alright. Don't know what's smooth. You're very, very welcome, my friend. This looks like it comes from underneath, so we're just going to do this. Put it over. I feel like a sort of a minor skill you'll pick up on when doing 3D. Oh, it's not got a thickness. Oh wow, can I really not see it? What about wireframe mode? Here you go. That you'll pick up when doing 3D is you'll learn how to... You'll learn what to do with something even if you can't see it in a concept. You say, oh, what do you mean by that, Steve? What I mean by that is when you're making something, you won't always have a very obvious way. You won't have something that makes it look very obvious the way it should look. You kind of just learn. Like, you go, oh, how would the back of this thing look? I know, I'll just do this. And you just kind of wing it. Well, sometimes you can just find better concepts. If you're making something that exists in real life, obviously that's not too difficult. But if you're not, then yeah, you'll have moments where you'll go, oh, I'll just make it up. Especially when you've made something enough times, or different things enough times, you'll just you'll have a generic like, oh, I remember what this looked like in this map. This is kind of a similar looking item. I'll just do it in a similar kind of way, and you'll end up just making it look similar. And that happened a lot at my last job, where it was a lot of like similarities. That works. You soon need to... Oh, you're right. I should be doing a Halloween scene right now. How long have I got? 26th? 31st. Ooh. Halloween illustration. Diorama. I mean, I'm not making an entire thing in this few days. Oh, you know what? I could turn this into a Halloween scene. We can make this a black cat. We can make these grimoires. Grimoires? We could have, like, purple smoke coming out. We can make this Halloween. And make a pumpkin. Easy, mate. That's a good idea. I should do that. Well, I said that's a good idea. It was kind of megapixels. Yeah, I actually wanted to do that. Anyways, I wanted to make this a potion shop. Because I said, like, should I copy the concept or should I go in a different direction and make something new? And maybe that's a good reason. How can I represent that with way less polys and still make it look good? I mean, a lot of that, whenever you want to make something lower poly, it's just down with baking, isn't it? You just bake normals and stuff. I mean, I say that, you get really, really low poly scenes. It's quite funny, because you'll end up with something that looks... Witch shop. Yeah, witch shop. You'll end up... Or witch shop, potion shop. Yeah, something like that. I think that'd be cool. We could even have the door open and, like, something leak out. But yeah, wow, I'm gonna have to... I have a very short time to do this in. God, I forgot I should probably make a scene for Halloween. Oh, wow, this one looks cool. I say that, then I see this. Oh, is this a 3D scene? This is a 3D scene. Look at this guy's scene. Whoa. Well, when it loads. This doesn't look 3D at all. What the hell? This is so cool. Oh, he's got like, they're like floating. The details are floating on top of a transparency layer. What? That is mental. This is so good. They are an illustrator, so it makes sense. Bro. That is sick. Is that the original drawing? I think that's a drawing. I can't tell. That might still be 3D. Has he got... Oh, that's the drawing. That's the original illustration. And that's the 3D. Man, that is awesome. What's this rendered in? Blender, I guess. Yeah. Man, that is sick. This guy's probably got some insane work. I mean, he seemed to have worked in a game. Oh my lord, that looks so cool. You know what, bamboo stuff like that always looks really cool. I don't even know what Heavenly Castle is, but it looks good. Kind of reminds me of a scene from Monster Hunter Rise, actually. Oh yeah, look at these illustrations. This isn't 3D, right? No, I was gonna say. God, making that 3D would be sick. Oh my lord. Anyways, gawking at other people's work. If you can't, if you're an artist and you can't appreciate other people's artwork, I don't know what's wrong with you. I know sometimes it's really difficult actually, because like if you're Like, man, I really want to be this kind of artist, and you look at people who significantly better, it's like, oh, well, I'm never going to be that good. And, you know, sometimes that's fine. You know, sometimes you may not be that. You may not get that good. I'm not going to lie and say you'll get that good eventually, because sometimes you won't. You just got to find the points that make you strong as an artist, really, and you got to build on that. Because we can't all be insano mode when it comes to art. There are limitations for everybody. And you're better at certain things than other people are. And just how it is. I pride myself on making my scenes. You need someone better to have golds, that too as well. Yeah, I mean, I try to pride myself on the idea that I make scenes that work in a 3D space, right? And I, when I was making scenes before, I wanted them to work so you could view them from every angle, so they were full 3D scenes, you know what I mean? And that was that was my drive and what I was trying to get good at. It's the same with like my materials and stuff. I wanted to make materials that weren't completely functioning in scenes and stuff. So that's what I try to push to be better at. And I think I'm pretty decent at that these days. I think you can put me down. You can put me down. It's over, man. You can put me down and just be like, okay, we want this made and we want it to work. And I think I could do it. And I could get it to work to an extent where... Wait. Can I not offset it? I know you can do this. Yeah, and I can get it to work to the point where it's functioning. And that was always very important for me to get good at. Not to say the people who are also insane artists can't also do that, but you know, just saying that was like a big point that I was trying to focus on. See, we could just leave it at that, which isn't the worst idea. I mean, you're never even going to see this, and it should really technically be touching literally as it... like here. And we should actually pull these forward to like... well, here, I guess. So that way... oh, well, I don't want it to be clipping. Wait, is it clipping or is Blender just being weird? I'll pull it back just in case. Again, you're not really going to see it, so it's not that big of a deal. If you make animations in Blender, like open a door, can you get that animation in Blender, or do you need to convert it into skeletal mesh or make the... anytime you export anything out from Blender, or for any 3D software, it will become its own skeletal mesh when it goes in the engine. That's just how it is. Unless I'm heavily missing something and giving some incorrect information there that I'm pretty, like... the animator I worked with, the rigger I worked with, the programmer I worked with who could do stuff like that and import stuff in it, they always said, like, it converts to it. So, yeah, you just have to deal with the fact that it will convert to a skeletal mesh every time. Anyways, I am going to call it a day. Because I feel awful. Like, I'm hoping some naps will... I'm hoping going to sleep will help, but my throat feels so bad. I'm going to brush and gargle some warm water and hope that helps. So, I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. I know we were talking mostly, didn't get too much done, but yeah. And I will catch you guys. Hopefully, if we only got 6 days to make this scene and make it Halloween-y, I'll get on every other day minimum to get it done. Rent a broom. Rent a broom's a great idea. Get a broomstick on the outside. Now you're coming up with some good ideas. And get some spices. Get some like, you know, like when they have, oh, get a cauldron in the window or a big cauldron outside. Yeah. We can make things up. We could just go with it. Anyways, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you next time. Bye. I always say that, and I don't have the software up to close it. There you go. Bye.